All right. All right. Let's get into this. Greetings, y'all. Tuesday, August the 25th in the year of our Lord, 2026. Yeah, I got my fan on. And at the time that I am recording this, I just found out that the most amazing, iconic Miss Dolly Parton has gone home. Damn. Quite honestly, she was too good for this world. God. Yeah, Dolly Parton's passed and this lighter wants to act up. But it's not going to be one of those days, y'all. It's not going to be one of those days. You know what? She left behind an amazing legacy. Y'all, welcome to 773 Oracle and Tarot. It's your girl, Chi-Town Ronnie, here to give you my little tarot bites. That's you. Your emotional and spiritual forecast. It's got to be what it's got to be. Come on now. There she go. I got my fan on because it's hot. It's hot. Dolly. Damn. You know, in Chicago back in the day, on Channel 9, on Sundays, my grandma, she used to watch the Lawrence Welk show, followed by Hee Haw, and then Dolly Parton had her own little show. And that's as a child. That's how I remember, because growing up on the South Side, I grew up on R&B and house music. So that was the only way that Dolly Parton was going to break into that algorithm, right? But yeah, today we're going to be getting our divine insights from the Archangel Michael Sword of Light Oracle, and that is by Mr. Radley Valentine, right there, okay? So y'all, according to my Llewellyn Daily Planetary Guide, today, you know, we've got Mercury is aligning with the South Node in Leo and opposing the North Node in Aquarius, all right? So let me break that down. Oh, wait a minute. And from there, I forgot. Yeah, Mercury's busy today, baby. Mercury is going to align. She's going to enter Virgo in its domicile. That is very important because Mercury rules the mind. Mercury rules communication. Mercury rules ideas and planning. So in the South Node, so something from your past could be coming back into your head today. An old idea, an old conversation, an old passion. And you might be wondering, why am I thinking about this again? Don't brush that shit off. Don't brush that off. Once Mercury moves into Virgo, you may finally see the details that you couldn't see before, you know, and then suddenly the old idea may have like a new plan. Let it go into Mercury though, baby. You know, yesterday we were talking about stop forcing it. You know, the energy was slow and we were being asked to regroup instead of beating ourselves up for not getting everything done. Today, we're moving out of that. We're moving out of that lull. You know, and now something that may have been sitting on the back of our minds is going to start asking for our attention. You know, maybe what was going on in the back of it, maybe it's not over. Maybe we just weren't ready to see what to do with what we had going on in the back of our head. That old idea, that old person, whatever, you know? So listen, have you ever randomly thought about something from years ago and thought, why the hell am I thinking about that shit now? You know, and like I said, that conversation or that person or, you know, or something you wanted to create or something you once cared about, you know, don't automatically dismiss that today. There may be something there. Okay. So, you know, our mind is going to feel very busy today and we could find ourselves replaying old conversations or thinking about something that we walked away from. All right. At first, it may not make sense, but as we slow down and we look at the details, the pieces may all start coming together. Them pieces may all start coming together. Not everything from our past needs to come back into our life. Okay. But sometimes, like an idea comes back because we now finally have the tools to do something with it. You don't have to go and recreate the past. You can have a good idea from the past, but build it differently. All right. So, give me a sec. Y'all, I'm trying, hold on. I got it. Where is she? I got it, baby. I got it. Here. This is what, here we go. Judgment. Judgment. Judgment is about an awakening. It's about reflection. It's about answering the call from our past with new awareness. You know, it's the moment when something we thought was finished suddenly now makes sense. Not because we're going backwards, but because we've changed. Okay? You know, our brain doesn't always bring old memories back for no reason. You know, sometimes, you know, old thoughts get triggered because something's happening right now that connects to something that was unresolved or unfinished. You know, and the key is figuring out whether we are just being pulled backwards or we are being reminded of something that is worth bringing back into the present, bringing forward, you know? You gotta think about that type of shit. You know, maybe that idea wasn't a failure. Maybe the timing was, you know, maybe the timing was wrong. Maybe you weren't ready for that relationship. You know, all kinds of things. We don't have to force it. We do not have to force it. You can just look at it again. You know, look at it now as the person that you've become now. You might be surprised by what you see. Because back then you couldn't see it fully. But now you've matured. Now you've got a little bit more experience. And now you woke up. Yeah. So again, judgment. This is the perfect card for this energy. You know, it's asking us to look back without getting stuck there. You know, it's asking us to take the lesson, to take the wisdom, to take the idea and decide what deserves another chance. You know, the past can give us information without becoming our future. All right. Did that make sense? All right. So we're going to affirm. Give me a second, y'all. It's coming. Here we go. Here we go. We're going to affirm. I trust what is returning to my awareness. I trust what is returning to my awareness. Shit, if that idea came up, write it down. If you got a chance, revisit that conversation. Look at the details. You know, don't try to make the whole thing happen today. Just ask, you know, is there something here that I can build on now? You know, then if it is, make you a simple little plan. Make you a simple little plan. That shit. That's all you got to do. Make you a simple little plan. Yeah. Shit, y'all. I cannot believe that the great Miss Dolly Parton, baby, she went on to glory. Shit. All right. That's just blowing me right now. All right, sweetheart. Let's get into our oracle. This is card number 2. When we talk about the numerological aspects of the number 2, we are talking about partnerships. We're talking about balance. We're talking about division. We're talking about duos. We're talking about choices. We're talking about decisions, attractions, opposite attractions, things of that nature. And this card right here says, angels of healing are with you. Angels of healing are with you. If that's the case, y'all, what's happening is that this card is telling me that we are being supported through this season, you know, of healing we're going to be renewed or restored. You know, and angels of healing, it lets us know that we don't have to carry this shit alone. You know, so if that be the case, then collective, here's the question: where are you being invited to receive healing instead of constantly having to be strong? Where can you let somebody else take over because you just think that you got to do it all alone? Those people helping you, those are your angels, baby. Those are your angels of healing. You know, right now, and especially with the angels, you know, right now, like the feeling we're supposed to be having is like we're going to be feeling tender. You know, we're feeling hopeful. We're feeling receptive. Okay. You know, healing doesn't always require us to, you know, to do more. You know, sometimes it requires us to allow ourselves to be able to receive. Yeah. When we've been in survival mode, oh, that survival mode. When we've been in survival mode for too long, receiving support can feel very unfamiliar. Healing includes learning that we don't always have to carry everything by ourselves. So collective, with this card is to remind us that, y'all, you are not alone. Support is all around you. Let yourself rest. Let yourself receive. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. Healing is already taking place. The healing is already taking place, y'all. Oh, Dolly. We're going to affirm with this card right here, baby. Here we go. We're going to affirm. I am supported, protected, and open to healing. I am supported and protected and opened to healing. Collective, allow yourself to receive the healing that's being offered. Take the help. Yeah. Y'all, and with that being said, you know what? Let me see. You know, for this card, baby, Dolly's passing just fucked me up. You know what, sweetie? The one thing that I can stay is that the strongest tarot card for this is the Star. She is renewal. You know, she is renewal. She's healing. She's hope. You know. Dolly. Shit. Y'all, remember your alignment is your assignment. And yeah. Just ask the universe. Close your eyes, babies. Ask the universe to show you how good it can be. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I didn't think I was going to take it that hard. All right, baby. Y'all stay placed. Dolly, God bless, baby.